Hey, party people, what's up? We were talking about In-N-Out Burger. What's your order? Put it in the comments below. I've turned into a 2 burgers, no fries guy.
Their fries are not very
Nothing
You
to write
gotta
home
get them
about.
fried hard. And I do the
Yeah.
protein burger so I can have the fried hard fries.
Yeah, the fries well done. I mean, if I were a vegetarian, animal style fries would be the only thing that gets me through. This is good. This is a good start. We're talking about The Last of Us. This is a show about enjoying the simpler things. Like really appreciating what society has to offer, like burgers and escalators, or whatever they were freaking out about in that show, which was really good. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to watch Jan's trailer together. We'll do deleted scenes, and we'll take your comments and questions. So put those in the chat. We'll respond to them at the end of the episode, and then tease you with next week's Honest Trailer, which I'm still watching through in chunks because it is a visual onslaught that is maybe better broken up, but still a good experience overall.
Yeah, I without spoiling too much, the same company that produced this film that we're doing for next week also produces a lot of TV shows, and I feel like they've got it. They pack a season's worth of TV plot into every movie, and like half a movie plot into every season of television.
Such as the entertainment industry.
It feels backwards now.
Yeah. You guys psyched for that?
This is a movie with a TV season's worth of story going.
Yeah, but this is your clue for next week. So we'll save the clue for the end of the episode while we talk about this TV show that I think, look, I didn't play through this game. I'm shocked because I love games, but I did not even bother with this one because it doesn't look fun. I know it's a good story, but like I say in the trailer, being the best video game writer is like being the best hand musician. And that was a clip that we show of the 4 Squeezins, which I'm a big fan of. Shout out to the 4 Squeezins.
Yeah.
It's like that, but if they could do, Ave Maria.
I always assumed that when they separated the boys and the girls in class, that's what they were teaching you guys to do.
They didn't have to teach
it was all
us.
this.
This comes to us naturally.
Yeah. So The Last of Us, it's a really good show. It's very, look, is it a little self-serious as these zombie post-apocalyptic and HBO dramas tend to be? Yes, but I think it's a good and are there a million shows about like a lone wolf and perhaps a cub making their way across a desolate wasteland? Yeah, that seems to be like a weird subgenre, but I think, look, this is impeccably put together, especially when you not docket points, but like it has the video game adaptation handicap. Again, I didn't play the game, but I think that this is just a good TV show. I'd be happy if they made this out of Seaman or whatever, as we say in the deleted scene. We're lucky. We're very lucky that this is what came out of that process. And this is a good show. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I love Pedro Pascal and basically everything. His ability to create that kind of like chemistry. I mean, obviously it's easier for him to do it now because it's actually him and not like Clint Eastwood's kid and an actual human girl and not a puppet. So I'm sure that it's a lot easier for him to be able to like find ways to like super connect with Bella. But them together is really amazing. And I love that it does seem like he is trying very hard to be his own Joel and not try to do the video game, because I think that that's also a really hard thing now that we have actual actors doing the video games.
Right.
It's not like the first Resident Evil where it's like, do you have the key of unlocking or like whatever that is. And so these are actual performances with people performing dialogue, so it can be kind of easy to fall back into the familiar patterns of the lines. But no, he does a fantastic job. And obviously, like what's his name, Craig Mazin, he do real good when he's bleak. Bleaker the better.
Yeah, the bleaker the better.
Get that man on Bleak Street.
It's a very tough balance they've got to strike, because if you I feel like conventional wisdom with video game adaptations is you got to reference the game, but you can't be too slavish about it being a video game. You got to kind of do your own thing, or else it feels like that the Doom movie when there's like the first person shooter.
You mean the best part of the Doom?
Yeah, right.
Doom movie?
Or the other one that I always think of is the Silent Hill movie where they actually have poor Rhoda Mitchell has to basically like platform jump for a few scenes. Like she literally has to like play a Silent Hill game. And so you feel like, there's that stuff, like they've got to make it exactly like the game. And then there's the other side where it's like, no, you've got to break totally free of the game, make it your own thing. And like, you've got to kind of service both of those ideas. And it's really hard to do. And you get we've had a lot of examples like, the Assassin's Creed movie where they kind of do neither one that well. And what I think Druckmann and Mazin do here is they actually nail both examples, which is really like there's sequences that are ripped right out of the game that feel very cool and like an homage, and like they reinvented that part, that sequence, so you could really see it as a TV show, which is sort of like exactly, I think, what taps into what fans want. But then they're also taking big risks and they're painting way outside the lines, and we're seeing characters from totally new perspectives, and we're seeing new angles on stories we already knew. And I mean, to be able to come at this from both of those perspectives and nail both sides of it, I think was a real high wire act. Like that must have been tough to pull off.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Not too many critiques coming out of us, but let us know what they got wrong and you hated in the comments. And let's watch the Australia. That on a streaming trailer, getting a lot of work.
Yeah.
From a showrunner who hit his stride once he started being unfunny on purpose, and the world's best video game writer, an honor about as prestigious as world's best hand musician, comes a nerdy IP about a grizzled father figure
so many covers.
getting their kid with magic blood to safety. No, the TV show. No, the TV show based on the game. The TV show based on the game that also stars Pedro Pascal. The Last of Us.
So pause. I mean, why is this taken over pop culture? Not a pop culture, but a certain type of adaptation of something that has slightly goofy or like lowbrow source material or something looked down on. And I think that gives it like, is it because it gives it a veneer of like grittiness and groundedness to just do the old man who's lost his way and his sense of feeling, and his just one little spark in this adorable charge of his, like makes him love again. Like, I don't know. Why is this so popular right now?
It's such a genre thing. And so I don't want to necessarily be like, it's the Logan effect, mostly because like Wolverine, him hanging out with like a 13-year-old girl and like teaching her the ropes while cutting up people, that's kind of always been his gig. That's been his jam from like the 80s. I think that is part of it. Like, it's an easy way to show the character development when you're bouncing someone off like literally the cutest or the cussiest small person you can put them next to. Or both. Yeah.
I think it also taps into like, this is how a lot of Americans like see themselves. Like, I think there is something to be said for like this idea of like the lone wolf, rugged individualist, like tough guy who's seen it all, but like still somewhere deep down has like a heart of gold and wants to like help his neighbor and be a good man. But like, but he's been through so much. He's so rugged. And so like a lot
I've worked at 7 different Boost Mobile stores. You know what I'm saying?
That just like, it's not a coincidence that this is like the story about himself that like Travis Bickle gets obsessed with. And like, this is really deep into the American psyche, this idea. And I think that a lot of these shows kind of tapping into that idea, which is already just out there and archetypal for Americans, but doing it with a character like an IP, there's a lot of power in that it's tapping into a story Americans already like in a way that they see themselves, but with these characters that they also really like and that are meaningful for them. When you could do it like and hit it like Logan, I think it has a lot of like innate power.
Yeah, and I think this is also how people think that they would be during the apocalypse, which like, no, thank you.
Yeah, they would
I'm
be
good.
The hardy...
Take me out first wave.
Oh yeah, first wave for sure.
Right, and it's
make me patient zero.
Because it's not
when there's an earthquake in LA, I'm like,
right. But it's interesting that it's not Bill. We all recognize it. Like, it's not the Nick Offerman. We all recognize that we're not that guy. We're not the ultimate survivalist, obsessive weirdo who's got a bunker full of like canned beans waiting it out. We're all the Joel, like we're gonna just adjust right away. Like
we're gonna learn it on the
bad,
job.
like,
we're learning the apocalypse on the job.
I can figure this out. Like I'll take care of the dead bodies during the day for money and then steal truck batteries at night. I'll be fine. You all are in real trouble, but I'll figure it out and fine.
All right. Good. Yeah. Trenchant observation as always. All right. Keep going.
Flashback to 2003, when scientists discovered a nasty fungus among us, turning anyone they bit into whatever word we're using for zombies this time.
No infected?
Oh, there's infected.
It's crawling with infected.
You've been near infected? There's no infected out here.
The hell they're right.
Leading to a dystopia where no one got to see Return of the King in theaters and gave the best chance at survival to people with made-up gluten allergies.
Di pabrik tepung dan gabah di barat kota.
The bread,
basic
folks.
ingredient like flour.
Now, embark on a 9-hour escort mission across the desolate, empty version of America known as Canada that brings some of the game's most iconic scenes to life, but strips out all the player choice.
I'm sorry. I have no other choice.
90% of the zombies.
See? It's empty.
And the hilarious bugs.
You can't even look at it. It's like upsetting
The
in a
focus on the
visceral
central
way.
theme of.
I will say,
with me now.
pause. A critique I saw levied at this a lot was that like there weren't enough infected, or it didn't seem there weren't enough zombies in it. Of course, compared to the game, because like, wow, that game would be boring. But
yeah, it's a game. You gotta.
I will say it again, having not played the game, I do sympathize with that because I didn't feel like they were much of a threat throughout the series. I felt like it was a very distant and remote and like not tangible threat. There were moments when they were like, going through like a tunnel or something, and there was mushrooms, tendrils and stuff like that. But it seemed like you could totally just like camp. You could just go down the road, and I know man was the real monster and everything, but like the zombies didn't seem like much of a presence.
I think that there is something cool about, now that we've had so many zomdrams and like the post-apocalyptic monster genre is so huge, that I think stuff like this and Station 11 have kind of had this sort of interesting idea of like, what if we go beyond the first few years of the apocalypse when it's all about like, how am I going to survive day to day?
Yep.
And like, what if, like 20 years later, 30 years later, life would kind of return to some semblance of normality, even if there were still monsters around every once in a while. Like, and I get the critique if you were just watching this as like, I want to watch a zombie show, give me the zombies. Like, I don't think it's that. It is more like this look at the world where, the zombies aren't the primary threat. They're like another thing that exists in this world that you've got to look out for. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I do get it that if you're watching it as a zombie action horror show, it's a little bit like, when are they going to get to the zombies at? When are they going to get to the fungus factory?
Right. And for me, I don't like jump scares. And I think that I appreciate that there aren't nearly as many in this as you would think, because it is like a zombie property. I wouldn't want to watch 9 episodes where there's like 5 jump scares every episode. I think that would get really tiring. I think it would take away from the bigger narrative.
Totally. Yeah, that's fair. So look at that. The opinions all around, and they're all fine. Let's keep going.
Say with me now.
Just fine.
What if the real monster was man all along? You can't stick too close to the source material, though. That's how you get a House of the Dead movie.
Hit it. Watch us.
I love how they
get
cut the
taken
little
down
bits of the
because they
game
use
in there.
that.
That's how you know it's faithful.
Yeah.
How else are you
Joe,
supposed to know
a
what
tough
part of the
hombre
game
from
they're
the
riffing
Austin
on?
suburbs with more trauma than you can shake a dead kid at. Played by Pedro Pascal, an actor currently traumatized by a never-ending horde of daddy comments.
Of the whole vibe of the daddy thing.
new to it? It's been it's been going on for years.
That's what I mean.
He's daddy, I'm mommy, and we're all a happy family.
And think he's my cool, slutty father. Yep.
Would love if you could read a few thirst tweets.
No. Dirty.
I need to stop
Leave
calling
him
Pedro Pascal
alone.
Daddy. It's becoming a problem.
It is becoming a problem.
Joe
A
is the
huge
only man
problem.
you call when you
There should
We're leading to
be-
sexual harassment now, guys.
Yeah, there should be some type of quota or something on how many times like the talk show circuit and the junket circuit can do the same bit. I feel like maybe there's a drawing. If everybody wants to do the read the thirst tweets thing, 5 outlets get to do it, and then you close the gate like a lotto.
Toss him a sharp stick like in Batman, like in a Dark Knight, and just make him fight it out. It's like if you want to do the zaddy bit, you got to take out everybody else here.
Yeah, I feel like every celebrity should get one non-controversy, non-scandal, like get out of this bit free card. You know, like not like if you're accused of doing something bad, everybody's allowed to ask you about it. Forget it. But like Leonardo DiCaprio should have a like, I don't want to talk about the Titanic door anymore. And if somebody brings it up, he could just be like, nope, I'm sorry, we're
Flag
not
on the play.
I got to get out of this bit free card. I'm sorry, we're not.
It could be like a punch card. Like, fine, I'll do it, but like you have to put a stamp on this card.
Right,
And when
it's
it's
like,
full, I don't do it anymore.
Hollywood, you've only got 3 left, and then you can never ask me about being a zaddy again. So like,
go talk to the Jimmies are just gonna have to figure it out for themselves.
Right? Yeah, like something. Just because that's enough already. Like yes, he's a very attractive man. I don't think any
frequently cast as a father for.
I don't think any of us
reason,
are denying he's a good-looking dude. But like, it's enough already.
He does say, and I mean, I think in real life he can pull this off, but they really, rough up Joel quite a bit. And there was a moment where he's like, "I'm 36." I was like, "Whoa, oh, yeah, okay."
Ooh,
no sunscreen in the future. All right.
Yeah, I think Pedro could pass, but Joel was looking like a hard 36.
There's a lot of pepper in that beard. Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Need someone to begrudgingly smuggle a minor across state lines for non-consensual surgery. But he'll soften once he meets Ellie, a girl whose brainstem can cure the few sad creeps left alive in this hellscape. She's your everyday gun, booze, and porn-loving American.
Can I have some?
No.
What, just to warm up? How do you even walk around with that thing?
Please get rid of it.
Who could really use a father figure, if only to tell her that saying every 10 seconds doesn't make you sound mature.
It's like a up moon. Where the are they already? Just put me in the hole. I'm gonna save the world. You laugh about
I didn't laugh.
I'm just with you. Yeah, man. I should stab you. You out of your mind, monkeys? What the What the You. 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 You.
Thank you, Kevin, for organizing these.
Yeah, wow.
Really tells a story.
I did not realize.
Joe, shut the up! Must have missed all the street signs in the enormous forest.
Holy.
So pause. I thought Bella Ramsey was incredible. Really, really good start to her career after Game of Thrones and then this, and to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a montage of all the like forced fake laughing that Bella had to do for the dumb pun jokes. And I went back and it's like, no, she's actually acting like she thinks it's funny. And like, I was convinced that she actually found these things funny just based on her performance. Cause I just assumed she'd have to be like, and like not be able to pull it off. But no, she sold me that she liked puns.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely the combined glee of this pun is like fun and stupid and a dad joke. And also I'm really pissing off Joel. Like she really sold being able to take joy in both of those because she was, I mean, if you're a kid, you're going to annoy the nearest adult. That's just
Joel was dropping puns to his daughter in episode 1. So they're character building puns. The puns are telling the story.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, they're load bearing.
Character driven puns. Yeah.
Keep going.
Saddle up together and learn a valuable lesson that the real zombie cure was the friends they made along the way, like Tess, Joel's ride or die, until she did both.
She's infected.
Bill and Frank, the couple who lived through the true horror of spending 16 years alone with your significant other.
Bill, did you say resource management? So help me, I will run through one of your tripwires.
That's how some mean set was up to 10.
Okay.
Before dying in the least gamer way possible. Then there's Henry and Sam, brothers from Kansas City who... All right, Riley, the girl who first inspires Ellie's... Marlene? Or see McCord's face? Wow, they really are The Last of Us. You know HBO means business when they kill off a Nepo baby in the first episode.
Yeah,
Is
pause,
that even in the
keeping it
room?
in the family. I guess just a shout out to the Bill and Frank episode. I mean, bravo, great one-off there. HBO, no, that's not HBO. I think like it was Andor that did the Andy Serkis, 3-episode arc diversion, and I love it when shows are able to do that. Things can go like semi-episodic, but still tell a through line that kind of moves it along. And like, man, we've been blessed. We've been blessed this year.
I think that was like the number one best idea they had going into this, like as a way to sort of tackle Last of Us as a show, was like, it doesn't always have to be Joel and Ellie. Like you can give it this kind of travelogue, episodic, like as they're going on their journey, they're meeting these people, and then we can kind of branch off and see those stories like that. I feel like another creative team might have put the kibosh on that. Like, nope, audiences are going to want to see it's the Joel and Ellie show, and there are characters, we got to stick with them. And I think that was such a smart idea to like branch it out, and like you could take an episode where Ellie's there, but we're going to really focus on this other community that she's meeting up with. And it doesn't, I think it lets them
extend the show.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because the second game is out, and I don't know if it's going to be like where the second game is going to be all of the second season, but that's it. That's what we got.
They've said they're going to take the second game and probably break it into 2 more seasons.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Then
that might be it.
No, I mean, no need to like keep this going forever, but that does let them, broaden the scope of what's otherwise a two-person
I
show.
think we're right now looking at, it's probably like a 3, maybe 4 if they come up with a big grandiose big finish.
By me.
And I think if they're open to it, they should go the other way and do the Bill and Frank game, where it is like resource management, kind of like a Clash of Clans thing, where like you have to maintain your little domicile.
It's almost
but
like Plants versus Zombies, like
Plants
Raiders
versus
show up
Zombies,
at
Plants
the
and
fence,
Zombies,
and you've got to have your stuff ready to go. Yeah.
Oh, see, I was just thinking
but it's like a dating
really...
sim at night. There's like a day-night cycle where it's like first you fend off.
See, you guys
waves
are
of
just
zombies.
describing Stardew Valley. You're describing Stardew Valley.
Stardew
with
Valley
zombies.
with like more.
It has zombies. If you get to the mystical part of it, there are zombies. So it's just Stardew Valley.
I made it like
I'm
one crop cycle in, and I'm like, this is just work.
It's just work. It's just planting and hoeing.
Keep going.
Wake of a few decently reviewed, profitable game adaptations. Get ready for a whole lot more of them. And enjoy the ride, gamers, because now you get to spoil what's going to happen without having to read a book. As Last of Us pushes the relentlessly bleak zombie genre to its absolute limits.
Kids die, Henry. They die all the time.
Where the only way to keep your sanity is to take joy in the simple pleasures. Or failing that, eke out a laugh for some stale, unfunny puns.
People are making apocalypse jokes like there's no tomorrow. Too soon?
No, it's topical.
I stayed up all night, wondering where the sun went. And then it dawned on me. Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
You dick.
A series relying on puns as a key source of humor? I can't even imagine being part of something like that. Starring Zaddy Daycare, How Bella Got Her Rude Back, I Kissed a Shroom and I Hate It, Luigi, Nick Offers Man a Home, Of All the Trap Holes and All the Compounds in the World, He Falls Into Mine, Stop, Collaborate and Listen, Full Metal Yellow Jacket, Mall Walker. Now eat this bread, for it is the body of Christ, and eat this meat, for it is the body of George. Joel and Ellie Prime.
Where's the cake? Come on, man.
I'll get us one tomorrow.
The cake is a lie.
It would have been
Elite
infected.
gamer tactics.
How do I play? Smash the buttons.
Jordan Peterson, when his pill bottle has a childproof cap.
Not today, you new world order jackboot.
Fast travel.
Well, how about that? Made it in 5 days.
Easy days.
Absolutely chowing down.
Be hungry.
What am I even eating?
That is 20-year-old Chef Boyardee ravioli.
That guy was good.
I actually agree.
That for lunch.
What the f?
Really bad wake-ups.
Stay right there, don't move.
Bad place to wake up.
Joe! Eyes on me. Welcome to the Fireflies.
Took most of the night. I'm exhausted.
God damn it.
And serious abdomen injuries.
Move your hand, baby.
We gotta get you inside.
No!
Bill!
No!
Y'all talk it through, but please remember that I'm bleeding out.
The
So
Last
pause.
of
Yeah,
Us.
that was like 6 different sequences where people were dealing with getting hurt right in the ab. And Lon, you were talking about it. Why it is that way?
I think it's a little bit of a convenient screenwriter thing, because it's like, you're not, if you take a like to the face, you're unconscious or you're dead.
Yeah.
But like ab, you could get hit in the stomach, and it's like, that's serious. Like, you're not gonna just walk it off like it's John Wick.
Right. If it's the shoulder, then it's like no
Yeah.
one's really worried.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could just walk that off in a movie and you're fine. But like the ab is like, okay, this is gonna take them out for a while, but they're not dead right away. They could still talk and be part of the scene and be like, even like the Nick Offer, like, no, I'm fine. Leave me. I'm gonna fight through it. You know, like, you've still got options after that happens. So
Yeah.
I think that's why you see a lot of dramatic stomach injuries.
It's
as
the
opposed
most
to, like,
cinematic place to get wounded because it gives you plenty of time for like a death speech or to get rescued. But it's like bad enough that like you can be kind of out of breath and like, I'm not gonna make it.
You're putting
Getting
it to
pale,
the clock on the scene. Like, now there's tension because we got to get you out of here because you're gonna bleed out, exactly like Marlene said. We all know you take an injury to the stomach, eventually you will bleed out.
Yeah, which is because like
Plus you get
just
to cough up blood.
Right.
Oh, you get to
and
cough
yeah,
up
you get to-
blood. Yeah.
you get to like shake and do the like, I'm okay. You know, like, you get to do that stuff, which is fun.
I'm just imagining that for the guy who gets shot in the dick by RoboCop. Just him and his buddies, like,
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
be
make
okay.
it.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
be okay.
Leave me, save yourselves.
I found the tip. We'll get you good. We'll get you back together. All right, finish the trailer.
All cutscenes 4K. Hey, I think someone set the series on easy mode. These actors' AI is way off.
Pretty easy.
I could do that.
that one, like, if you're just in an open, snowy field,
You hear the
and
crunch.
You're gonna hear a big guy running up on you. You're gonna hear that crunch.
He's not that light on his feet. He's
No.
recovering from an ab wound.
And they know that because there's another scene where I think it's even the same episode where Ellie sneaks up on David and he reacts. He's like, "Wow, you are a good little hunter. I didn't hear you walk up at all." But she'd have the time to carefully sneak up on him.
Yeah.
Joel's running at full tilt. You'd hear a big guy running at you.
Big
Worst
guy
movie
coming.
ever. I also noticed in episode 1, this is true, that they did have a Box Trolls DVD on their rack, which did not come out in 2003. Hope somebody got fired for that blunder. But you, the audience, have not been fired for that blunder. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss another thing, another ding-a-ling. Like these outtakes. Roll them.
In 2023, the world is beset by a deadly plague, the rise of fascism, and crumbling infrastructure. Also, the Last of Us TV show came out. Starring Last Mando Standing, not a fun guy. Likes father, likes puns. Girl Beats World, Vine Hunter. Test your might. Classic original recipe Marlene. Fed Dead Redemption. Host writer Ron Swansong. Killed by Bill. The Brothers Shroom. The Brothers Grimm. Love, Death, and Mallrats. The Hunger Games. Catching Fireflies. 9 hours of unskippable cutscenes. Won't you take me to Fungi Town?
Should have done that one.
With the success of this, maybe they'll finally adapt my favorite game, Seaman.
Well, I think it's good that you're exercising a little caution about your internet use. Fire is a wonderful thing, but I wouldn't want to sit on a sofa made out of it.
Danielle,
Rest
take
in
us-
peace, Dreamcast.
Yeah, RIP Dreamcast. You're saying you used to play Seaman a lot?
Yes, I did. I did. I used to work at a video game place. We played everything. I used to sell video games at it was a store that came before GameStop bought everything. But yeah.
And then you have to talk to it, right? It was like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah. There was like because the Dreamcast was like way ahead of its time for everything, and so yeah, there was like a voice thing that was in the Rumble Pack for the Dreamcast controller, and you would like talk to it, and if you didn't, he's like, "Where have you been?" Being like all creepy and spermy.
He was Chat GPT-4 of his era.
Yes.
Beautiful thing. Well, coming soon to Stars.
Like, do we need human rights for Seaman? Is he self-aware? But I never got.
Seaman convinced me to leave my wife for Seaman. Seaman fell in love with me, and I love them back. All right, on to your questions. Evan J. Pretzer leading us off. And also I'll group in some similar questions, Pat Magana too. The D&D movie's not bad, apparently. The Mario Bros. Movie's promising. Are we finally in the era of good game adaptations? And Pat Magana adding on, do we think the Amazon God of War show will be any good?
I don't even start judging the shows until I get a chance to like see a pilot, because I've been fooled before where it's like, that looks really cool and it's really promising. And then you go in and it's like, oh, wasn't necessarily for me. So I've been trying to like, I definitely want to watch it. It looks cool. But the pilot's going to let me know if it's going to be like something I'm going to want to spend, 10 hours on.
I feel like the video game adaptation curse thing is sort of generally overblown at this point. Like, obviously there have been a lot of bad ones and stinkos. We've mentioned a few already on this very show. But like, I mean, the Mortal Kombat 95 movie was pretty cool. I was a big fan of that back in the day. And we talked about Street Fighter on this program. I think that's kind of a fun movie as well. And the Sonic the Hedgehog. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie a few years ago, people liked it. I mean, I feel like at this point we've had a few already that have come out, and there's no reason to think a video game inspired movie or TV show is necessarily going to be terrible.
They're all just so much better at adapting now. Everyone's great at adapting properties now and understanding how to.
Then you get Halo, and then you get Uncharted and Rampage and stuff like that. That was very loosely.
Rampage is not that bad even, but Halo is.
Halo is
a great example of what I was talking about at the beginning, where it's like you've got to find that balance. You want to go somewhat on your own and do some new stuff, but you can't have Master Chief take off his helmet and start dating aliens right away. That's too far. Like, there's got, it's gotta. You can't. You gotta paint within the lines in some way.
Yeah, here.
I want to see Master Chief's love nest. That was what I wanted. That's what I came into Halo for.
There's like 3 sequences from the entire Halo series where you're like, okay, that sort of feels like a Halo game. Everything else was just them going rogue and being like, Bokeem Woodbine lives in an asteroid. Like, that's not from.
Look, I'd play that dating game. I'd play that dating sim.
Pericles Dragon Balls with a fun fact. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a clause in his contract that states he can automatically end an interview if they ask about Hercules in New York.
Damn, all right.
I feel like every actor deserves their one Hercules in New York. I'm
Good job, Governor.
That's his. You would think his would be like asking him about getting to the chopper or something.
And then let's end with this might take a minute, but let's end with an impromptu SJU. Actually, there's 2 good SJU topics. So Louis Valenzuela asked us to react to the Blue Beetle trailer, Spider-Verse trailer, and live action Moana tease.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I haven't seen the Spider-Verse one yet. Is it? I mean, I'm sure it's great.
It looks cool. It looks very
super good.
Blue Beetle, I'm very torn on. It looks like fun, like a fun YA version of a superhero movie, and I'm sure it'll be entertaining. But I just can't. I just can't get excited for anything right now like that.
It looks cool. I enjoy the character. I'm a little. I feel like I've seen this movie a bunch. But I'll probably go see it. It does look really cute. It seems incredibly charming. But I can see for people, like, I don't want to be like, oh, it's comic book fatigue. But I could definitely see where people are like, look, I don't know if I have it in me to learn who Blue Pants Glargle Balls is.
Big Bad Beetleborg is. Yeah.
I just don't have it. Like, it looks like I get it. He's a teen. A bug hits him, and now he's got powers.
Alien bug powers.
I feel like
he's got
I've
a
seen
cool family that like.
And they're different, but I can see from the outside why you'd be like, ugh.
I totally agree with you guys. I get everything you're saying. It sucks because it's not even DC's fault. Like they're not the ones who overdid this to death over the last decade. It was really Marvel who's more done this to death. But like we're all worn out anyway. I feel like this looks a lot like Ms. Marvel, and that it is kind of DC's version of that sort of same story. So they're allowed. Like this feels very appropriate to what a Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle movie would be.
Yeah.
I just feel like, yeah, we've seen that movie a bunch of times. And so this is like another one of those. But I do think it looks like a good, fun
version of a
that
fun,
I'd
like family friendly-ish superhero origin story.
Yeah, I thought the
just have those
stuff was funny, and I think the effects look pretty cool. Like I'm definitely excited to check it out. It's just, we've seen a lot of this kind of coming of age superhero story at this point.
And speaking
it must
of
be pretty
a lot,
good. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm just saying it must be pretty good because it was originally supposed to be on streaming and then they decided to put it in theaters, which is
nice.
Right. It's like the anti-bat. It's like the opposite of Batgirl.
The anti-Batgirl.
Got
Rest
shut
in
down.
peace.
This one got promoted.
Pour it the liquor.
Let's hear it for The Rock bouncing back from Black Adam.
No.
Okay, we got a strong
Dwayne.
no from Danielle.
No, I'm sorry. You don't get to double dip before it's even been a decade.
The hierarchy of Disney,
Disney
Disney live action remixes
is about to change, folks.
No, I'm sorry, Dwayne. And you don't get to bring your kids and talk about how awesome your island and your dad is to try to convince us not to make fun of this big-headed bull stuff that you just pulled. I'm sorry. I'm not that angry. I'm still coming off of some WrestleMania rage. But no, Dwayne, no. It hasn't even been a decade. And he's like, just name the movie to Maui and just save us all the trouble. I don't care nearly as much as I'm saying. I really am getting rid of some WrestleMania outrage right now. I haven't had a chance to podcast about it yet.
I feel like Dwayne a few years ago was kind of in that he had like this moment where it's like he could have gone back to like bread and butter, like make a couple like hardcore action movies, like make something that your old school fans are really going to want to see, or go 100% into the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards, domain and just live there forever. And I think
he saw the check.
Yeah, I think we've seen where the decision went, and it's not the Dwayne that I would love to see, but the kids do love him, and I guess if he's gonna just embrace that, and he'll be like their favorite, like there's another decade of projects he can make in that world, I'm sure.
Is there a way you think that Maui will be able to get Terramano in the movie, or no? We're not going to see. We're not going to go to like Maui's boat and he's got like a bar with all of his own tequila on it.
We just cut to Moana's parents like mid-adventure and they're just hanging out, doing their own thing.
Terramaya, whatever.
It's the Rock signature tequila.
Yeah, they'll definitely be sipping on that at like some bar. Look. This isn't going to come out for a while, right? Like
they're just starting.
No, this is the announcement.
So why tell us that this is coming so soon? Who is this for? Like, who is this announcement for?
It's
like,
for Dwayne.
Oh boy.
No,
like
this was for Disney shareholders. This was Bob Iger. Bob Iger's first meeting with shareholders since coming back to Disney in November, and that's where Iger introduced this from stage. Like this was 100%. Bob needs a big thing to go out there and announce to get
Q4 2026 or something. Like we've got to hit. You penciled in. We've got to hit $1 billion movie.
Get them marking out. That's 100% what this was.
And it doesn't hurt that now this is the conversation about Dwayne and not all of his like weird Machiavellian politicking behind the scenes.
Give the end credit scene to Zach Levi for giving him some justice.
See why
at the end of Moana, he put Shazam in.
Dwayne was happy to change the conversation from Shazam to Bob needed a big thing to juice from the stage. So it makes logical sense. Because the only other thing that came out of that Iger shareholder thing was like he's willing to license characters. There was the thing he talked about, like they're very protective of their core brands, but he wouldn't definitely say no to licensing characters to other studios for third-party things. And like that's a shift in Disney. But they didn't really have anything else super exciting for him to announce. So I think that's what the Moana news.
Totally easy to put that promo together.
Right, and it's like a thing that's going to grab headlines everywhere. Be like, Iger announced they're doing a live-action Moana.
Yeah, crazy. I think we need to do like an auxiliary SJU because like the Marvel cutbacks, the Harry Potter series coming out. We might need to do an emergency special.
Yeah.
There's a lot
breaking news.
But we're here ostensibly talking about The Last of Us, and we're done with that because there's not much to say except it's good. But next week we'll be back, soaking wet and ready to go for next week.
The next thing we're doing is good too. I really like.
Oh, I do too. But I just think that there's a lot to chew on. There's a lot of meat on that whale.
I never knew my eyes could perceive. Never mind. I'll put that in the trailer.
Yeah. So we'll be back next time. I think you might be able to guess what it is, but thanks for sticking with us this long. And we'll be back then for Australia commentaries. Have a good one. Bye-bye.